Invisible Man, written by Ralph Ellison, is a novel that delves into the life of a young black man as he develops into adulthood in the United States during the middle of the 20th century. The story is intricate and multi-layered. The narrative is given from the point of view of an unidentified protagonist, who chronicles his trip from a tiny village in the South to the bustling streets of New York City, where he becomes involved with a variety of political and social groups. The story is recounted from the perspective of an unnamed protagonist. The narrative is broken up into a number of chapters or episodes, each of which focuses on a different occurrence or experience that the protagonist has throughout the course of the story. Through these episodes, Ellison examines a wide range of topics pertaining to race, identity, and power, and provides a forceful critique of the social and political structures that continue to perpetuate racism and inequality in American culture. The idea of invisibility, which functions as a metaphor for the ways in which black people are marginalized and excluded from mainstream culture, is one of the primary themes that is explored during the course of the book. Despite the ongoing pressures to conform to the standards of white society, the protagonist of the book fights a losing battle to assert his own identity and earn acknowledgement for his distinctiveness throughout the entirety of the story. Metaphor, symbolism, and imagery are just a few of the literary devices that Ellison employs in order to successfully communicate this experience of being invisible. For instance, the main character regularly refers to himself as invisible or transparent, and he imagines himself to be something like a voice without a body or a pair of eyes floating in space. The protagonist, a black guy living in a culture that is predominantly white, experiences feelings of separation and loneliness, which are conveyed through the usage of these images. The relationship between power and identity, as well as the various ways in which societal systems can be utilized to control and manipulate individuals, is another significant issue explored throughout the book. The protagonist is attracted to a number of political and social movements early on in the story, including the Communist Party and a black nationalist organization. Nevertheless, as the story progresses, he or she finally grows disillusioned with the language and dogma of these groups. Ellison examines the perils of group identity and the ways in which individuals can get absorbed under larger societal institutions through the character of Brother Jack, the head of a communist organization known as the Brotherhood. This is done so in order to illustrate the themes of the novel. In the end, the voyage takes the protagonist to a place where he is able to reject the politics of the Communist Party as well as the ideology of black nationalism, and where he is able to declare his own individual identity in spite of the pressures of society to adhere to norms. The novel is also used by Ellison to investigate the complicated history of race relations in the United States, as well as the ways in which racism and discrimination have been maintained throughout the course of time. Ellison uses the protagonist's interactions with a variety of individuals throughout the novel to investigate the various ways in which race and class intersect in American culture. These characters range from wealthy white benefactors to impoverished black sharecroppers, and Ellison uses the protagonist's journey through the novel to do so. The Battle Royal phase is one of the most impactful and unforgettable passages in the novel. In this sequence, the protagonist and a group of other young black men are forced to fight each other in front of a group of wealthy white spectators. This is one of the most dramatic and memorable scenes in the novel. This scene is used to depict the psychological toll that is taken as a result of racial injustice and discrimination, as well as the ways in which black people are exploited and dehumanized by white culture. To summarize, Invisible Man is a strong and influential piece of writing that covers the experiences of a young black man navigating the complexity of American culture during the middle of the 20th century. These experiences take place in the United States. The novel offers a searing critique of the social and political structures that perpetuate racism and inequality in America through its complex structure, rich symbolism, and powerful imagery. It also provides a vivid and unforgettable portrait of the challenges faced by black people in a society that too often denies their humanity and their worth.